We're here at Challenge Laguna Phuket. Breakfast with Bob, Championship Edition. Last year's champion here in, 404 or something like that. Two-time Ironman World Champion, Mr. Chris McCormack. It's hard to be a working man and do this stuff, huh?
It's more like lunch with Bob at the moment. It took me that long to get back over those hills.
Yes.
But yeah, I work up here now. It's my new home starting today, 1st of December. I'm now the Chief Executive Chairman of Tanyapura.
I love it. So wait. This is a real job.
It has been 17 years since I've had a real job, and I finally got a business card again. And,
wow.
Yeah, I took the opportunity. I saw it, and I've been spending a lot of time up here training, and then I fell ill July this year, so I decided to come back and forwards and started working with Klaus Heben, who is the founder of Tanyapura, and we saw a lot of potential there. And
tell us about what's Tanyapura.
Tanyapura is a sports resort. It's without question, the best training facility I've seen anywhere in the world. It's got 50-metre pools, 25-metre pools, testing facilities, athletic tracks, tennis courts, and it was built. Klaus Heben, a German guy, had a vision that he wanted to build a school first.
Started with
a school for his son, and then he wanted to build the sporting facilities around the school. So he figured, if I'm going to build them, I may as well build the best. And he certainly did that. And with sport emerging in Asia and so many expats doing triathlon and so many young kids getting into sport, it became the hub of sport within Southeast Asia. And they put me at the helm of helping plug that into people more my age to utilise the facility, and triathlon was really at the forefront of that. So Jürgen Zach runs the triathlon centre there, so it's an amazing spot, and I feel really privileged that after 17 years unemployed, he saw some talent in an unemployed individual to put him at the top of the tree.
He was on Craigslist, and he said, looking for an unemployed triathlete to run his center.
Yeah.
So what will your job entail? Is your job to go and get groups to come here and train?
Pretty much. I've appointed a very, very close friend of mine, part of my team for a very long time, as CEO, Mick Gilliam. So he's going to really run the Australian end of the business. So we want to drive people that do triathlon, people that ride bikes, people that to our centre, because we got all the testing facilities, all the programs in place to do that. So I've got a big network over the years of racing, and this week alone we had a McCormack camp here with 60 people.
60 people.
60 people. We had one 2 weeks ago in Miami with 120 people, and these are the kind of people we want to bring through the centre. And it's just plugging the networks in and just bringing it to light. At the moment, it's just sort of standing dormant, and they figured by putting the right people in place, and we can build out those programs, it'll work.
So it's what I really enjoy. What you've been doing with MacX is you're growing the sport. Yeah. You're getting brand new people into the sport, understanding that really this sport is open to anybody.
Yeah, well, that's what drove me in the sport in the first place, and I think all the people on my team, I'm actually getting pointed at a couple of guys at MacRX now looking at me. I said, if anyone beats me today, then they become the new coach of MacRX, and I think everyone beat me. But we've got a great group, and I just wanted to bring amateurs to the sport, and a lot of the people in MacRX are beginners, they're all beginners, and because that's where I started, and I felt that triathlon has a lot to offer for everybody. So you see me always racing events, the community races all around the world, because I just love triathlon, and I'm not going to be at the pointy end of the fields for the rest of my life, but I'll always be doing triathlon. So these are the people I will be racing in years to come. So I feel like I've learned a lot over my years racing. I still have a lot to give athletically, but I really want to pass on my knowledge to this next wave of people and inspire them. And they don't all have to be kids like I was. A lot of people I've met in the last few weeks, we've had 200 people go through our camps, are inspired by triathlon. And it's just cool. It's cool to see that. Sometimes you're around professionals a lot of your life, and we get a little bit bitter and twisted with the sport. Jaded is the right word. Exactly. And it's just great to see that energy still around.
So I know that you're still racing, and this is off season.
Yeah.
So next year, what will your season look like?
Well, I'm going to kick off my season with Challenge Philippines in February. I came off glandular fever, so I've literally done nothing. I mean, nothing. And you cannot fudge one of these races.
You can't fake a race in the heat in the hills like this.
I thought you could, and I was well and truly exposed. I overheated in the swim, and you got a problem there. But as of tomorrow is my first day back at training. I said 1st of December would be training would begin, and I told Roman and the guys running this event, well, I'll kick off my training with Challenge Phuket, but I got, 40K into the bike ride, and I went, I won't make it. So I've got a long way to go, but Challenge Philippines next year, and I'll do Challenge Taiwan. Support a lot of the challenge races. I'll do Ironman in Norway.
Okay.
I'll do the inaugural Challenge USA. And I'll still support Ironman racing.
So you'll be in Atlantic City.
I'll be in Atlantic City.
Nice.
And I'm doing the Norseman, the Great Norseman. It's been a bucket list race of mine.
Tim de Boom.
Tim de Boom did it.
Yeah.
And I really want to do those bucket list events. You know, I know we talked about doing Comrades one day together. And Norseman is an event I've always wanted to do. And people are like, how much are they paying you? I said, absolutely nothing. I want to do it.
Right.
You know, I really want to do this race. So there are events I've got on the calendar this year. And I want to be competitive because I felt like I lost a year this year. And I know the light is starting to flicker. And I'd like to win a few races before I hang the shoes up.
Now, I know there's a point before everything broke with USADA and Lance that you were coming pretty close to doing a one-on-one with Lance Armstrong.
Very close.
Now, is that something that could get revived?
Well, believe it or not, a crew of people contacted him recently because I know he can't race anybody, but I said, you know what? I'll race you, mate. Look, I'll race you only because I don't care if there's no accolades, no one around. I just want to race you.
Right.
You know, just two old blokes. There's no excuses. Let's just have a race. And so we threw that out to him only a couple of weeks ago, but we've thrown it out to him a while. I know he's got a lot on his plate, but you know, all that stuff aside, Lance has done some horrible things and some amazing things athletically, but you know, he's still a competitor, and I've always been inspired by racing competitors, and he's a prickly personality, and I'd love to go around and have a crack at it. I read an interview recently where he believed he could win the Ironman World Championships, and that was sort of what sparked my interest of contacting him again. I'm like, hey man, you can't go and make those statements without backing them up. So if you really think you can win the Ironman World Championships, come and race me. We'll just go to the back of Austin, you and me, pick a loop, no one around, let's race, shake hands, and just like, so we'll see what happens.
I can't believe that he would make a statement like, I think I can win the Ironman.
Yeah,
I mean, someone like Chris McCormack would never say anything like that before he did it.
Anyone who says that is insane, and you'll live with that statement, Lance, for the rest of your life.
Exactly. At least he didn't say, I'll win it 6 times, did he?
I didn't mean I meant it 6. I think I actually said I'll win it 7 times.
You did say 7.
Did,
Yeah.
But yeah, geez, you live with that statement. That was a long, long time ago in my career, and I've been held accountable to that statement my whole career.
I love the fact that Dave Scott was sitting right in front of us, and when you said that, his line was, why don't you start by winning 1? That was great.
Yeah, I've had some embarrassing moments in my career. That was one of the highlights, and the other one was doing that first Ironman in Hawaii, 2002. I'm off the front on the bike. Dave Scott, Mark Allen pull up in the car next to me, and I turn across him and said, when does this start getting hard? I can't believe I said that. You know, 3 hours later, I'm out.
Oh, my God. So, are you moving your family here?
Yeah, my family comes here. Well, the school at Tanyapura is one of the best schools in Asia. So, you know, we're apprehensive. I never envisaged myself living in Southeast Asia, and you know, but we've spent so much time up here. Emma and I used to come up here for our honeymoon. We've come up here, so we actually love the place. But when you actually say you're moving here, you get a bit apprehensive. But I feel like we're plugging into the world here. Australia's always be home, beautiful part of the world, but we're a long way away from everything.
You really are.
So here, accessibility to racing in Europe and Asia, and you're not too far from the States. It's an exciting time. We're looking at it with our eyes wide open, and we see it as a great opportunity. We're going to go with it.
You were one of the first guys when everybody was talking about people winning Ironman Lake Placid and the different Ironman races in the States. You were the guy saying, hey, the real racing's in Europe.
Yeah.
That's where Rasmus, that's where Andreas Raylert, that's where Michael Raylert, that's the future of the sport. Now you're coming to Asia.
Yes.
What do you see?
I see triathlon where it was in the USA in the late 90s. It's starting to bubble. It's starting to get a resurgence. You're getting a lot of expats here. I don't think we have the depth of talent in Asia right yet, but you're getting a lot of the Europeans coming down here racing. But, still the hub of racing is the United States and Europe. I think the young talent is coming out of Europe. You've seen that with Keenlay, this year's Ironman champion, Van Leerd. I think there's more depth there. And, I think it's a great resurgence of long course racing out of the States with Tim O'Donnell. I think he's the next wave of solid guys from the US. But Asia's a long way off that on the professional front yet. But when you've got events like this and we've got more racing coming to Asia, you inspire the next wave of people, the next junior kids, these expats. If you come to Tanyapura and see some of these 15, 16-year-old kids that Jürgen Zach's working with right now, they're your next wave. And it won't be too long before we see someone from Asia winning races.
Will we see you in Kona next year racing or hanging out?
If my wife is watching this,
yes,
if my wife is watching this, I want to go to Kona, and Bob wants me to go to Kona.
I do.
And I think I should go to Kona.
It's a business trip.
It's a business trip.
He needs to come do Thank God I'm Not Racing to hang medals.
Totally.
And come down Breakfast with Bob and hang it out.
I would like to race one more Kona. I made that clear. I was hoping that was last year and I was going to hang the shoes up. And no disrespect to Freddie and Sebi, I think that they're better athletes than I am right now.
Right.
I think they are. But I would just love to roll the dice with them one more time and be competitive and just pay my respects to the next wave. I think I love what they're doing. I loved how the old brigade did that for me, and I would love to go out there, race, wish them all the best, and sit back and watch like I used to. These guys do amazing things in triathlon.
Love that. Chris McCormack has been our guest, the president and king of Thailand.
Call me sir.
Call you Sir Macca. I like that. Sir Macca is good.
And now you've got to speak to my people before you can get to me. I have people now.
I went through that with Lance.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And Macca's new role model is Candy the elephant, who's right over there. Then we got to.
There's not many races in the world where you finish with an elephant.
I like that.
There are not many races. If you haven't been to Phuket and you want to do a really, really cool event, like a really end of season race, it's a lot of fun. Tough challenge. A lot of people aren't in their best condition, but a great after party, a great vibe. This is a bucket list race. It's a phenomenal event. 20 years now it's been going.
Yep.
And it just gets better and better every year.
Love it. Mac has been our guest. It's a championship edition of Breakfast with Bob. We're on triathlete.com from the Challenge, Laguna Phuket. Hold on. We'll be right back.